Help It. From predicting so many actors' deaths to accurately summing up the political situation of the whole world from 1980s onwards, we look at 15 films that predicted the future. Number 15. The Net. Yep, that film that taught everyone in the 90s to be scared of the big bad internet and technology that you have no way of understanding. And with good reason. The Net predicted online identity theft quite early on when the internet was still young. This is something that with the advent of social media has become an increasing issue for the modern day. Not bad for a film that's remembered for introducing people to the idea of ordering a pizza through the internet. The future truly is a magical place to be. Number 14. Super Mario Bros. The world's first video game movie did more than just predict that video game movies would be terrible for the foreseeable future. It also predicted 9/11. Well, not exactly, but at one point when the real world merges with the Koopa world, it shows the World Trade Center destroyed. But hey, it's not that special. What is though is that the towers are destroyed in the order they were on 9/11, with one tower having a similar looking hole in it. However, the movie's prediction that it would get a sequel is way off mark. Seriously guys, we're even on the set for the film you were making. Number 13. Game of Death. There are plenty of issues surrounding Bruce Lee's final film, but one often forgotten is that the film in a way predicted Brandon Lee's death on The Crow. In the film, Bruce fakes his death in a reenactment of the end of Fist of Fury, which results in him being shot and supposedly killed. Brandon died while shooting The Crow when a prop gun turned out to be real. It's an ironic coincidence, as the plot for Game of Death was quickly put together to work with the pagoda footage that Bruce had already shot, meaning the hack that wrote it may also be a psychic. Number 12. The Poltergeist. Speaking of films tragically predicting someone's death in a roundabout way, this 1982 spooktacular also managed to do the same thing, sorta. See, in the film there's a poster for the 1988 Super Bowl, which is quite odd really. There's nothing else to set the film in the future from 1982. Here's where it gets weird. Actress Heather O'Rourke, who played the iconic Carol Ann, died the day after the 1988 Super Bowl. Another oddly specific coincidence, unless some spirits are reaching out through one of the production designers to try and warn Heather. Come on, Ghost, why you gotta be so cryptic? Just leave a post-it note or something. Number 11. Dick Tracy. What, you don't have a smartwatch? I mean, this is the future, and even a private detective in the 30s has one, you Luddite. This is one of those chicken and the egg situations where it's probable that some Dick Tracy nerd out there devoted their life to making smartwatches a thing. The film, of course, owes its prediction to the comic strip, but the watch is no longer a fantasy gadget, but one of reality. So one day there'll be a very confused kid posting, "Gee, smartwatches were so lame back in the 30s, hashtag Dick Tracy" to Twitter, and us old people will laugh, wondering why the fuck anyone's watching Dick Tracy. Number 10. Demolition Man. No, this film didn't predict Wesley Snipes' tax problems or Rob Snyder's career death, but it did predict a certain someone becoming a politician. This film predicted the Governator, except in this film it's the Presidente, with Arnold becoming the president while Stallone was in cryostasis. This was way before Arnold had any foot in the political world. The film also predicted the ultra-health conscious movement and the neo-Puritan movement, with all fatty foods, cigarettes, and sex pretty much removed from society. Luckily they were wrong about the 3 seashells. I don't want to know how we're supposed to wipe our asses with those. Number 9. Above Suspicion. Sometimes even totally forgettable TV movies can ironically predict the future. Such is the case with Above Suspicion, a bland film where former Superman Christopher Reeve plays a paraplegic officer who plans to murder his wife, turned out to air 2 days before Reeve would end up paralyzed in real life. Reeve, ever the professional, spent days in a spinal trauma ward before filming the movie to learn what it would be like to be confined to a wheelchair. Unfortunately, this film prepared Reeve for what was to come. Number 8. Short Circuit. The future's here, with drones taking out strategic targets, bomb disposal robots, and future remote-controlled foot soldiers. Well, not the last one. Yet. But years ago, a little film predicted the power that robotics would play in modern military, just with more adorable consequences than anything we have today. We can all long for the day that number 5 rolls off that military assembly line and warms our hearts, then melts our eyeballs out with that damn laser. Did everything cute in the 80s really need the ability to explode our heads? Number 7. The Cable Guy. Yep, that Jim Carrey film where he stalks Ferris Bueller for 90 minutes predicted a surprising amount about modern living. Carrey's character gives a speech on the future of telecommunications and pretty much nails all the developments that would happen over the next 10 years. From online shopping to Xbox Live, it's pretty much all there. Pretty on the nose for a time when people thought the net would just be a fad for tech nerds to post pictures of old cartoons on. Now we post entire cartoons. Suck it, cable TV. Oh, and point to Cable Guy. Number 6. Enemy of the State. What do you mean the government's secretly watching everything I do from spy satellites in the name of national security? You've just been watching that crazy Will Smith movie too much. Sarcasm aside, that's what most people would have said 15 years ago, but today government surveillance is a very real and divisive topic with many countries. Just how far do we go in the name of security, and what happens when it's the wrong man and that man is Will Smith? Probably not what happens in Enemy of the State, but you get the idea. This film was the paranoid forum poster before they even knew there was something to be paranoid about. Number 5. 2001: A Space Odyssey. Kubrick, is there any list your films can't get on? It's like there's one for every occasion out there. 2001's vision of the future predicted a few things correctly, just in the wrong year. Most notable is a tablet-like device our heroes use to read reports and make video calls. Nothing quite says, "It's the future!" like video calls do. This was a big thing when Samsung used the pads in the film against Apple in a lawsuit over who copied who, showing that the design had been around for years. Still, it's pretty remarkable how close they are to what we hold in our hands today. Well, except for the fact they were getting work done instead of watching YouTube videos. You just know Hal would love trolling on Twitter. Number 4. The Truman Show. Big Brother, The Real World, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, The Real Housewives, who would have guessed that all these shows about people doing nothing would be hits? Well, the guys behind The Truman Show did. They predicted that a TV show about a guy just living his life would be the biggest television show on the planet. And reality TV has done all it can to prove them right. While there was reality TV around before the film was made, it was nowhere on the scale that it's at today. So how long until we lock up one of Kanye's children in a giant fake world and watch everything from their first step to their marriage? Probably about 2 years. Number 3. Minority Report. Remember the days before we had psychics predicting murders and what an uncivilized mess it all was? Oh wait, that hasn't happened yet. No, not the pre-crime unit, but the combo of personal advertising and gesture interfaces gets Minority Report on our list. The film predicts those ads based on your browsing habits will one day be scattered in real life all over the place, which is what modern marketing seems to be moving towards. Which is gonna make things super awkward in about 10 years when billboards talking about making your dick 5 times bigger all over the place. But at least by then, the pills will probably legitimately work, which means the dream of a 5-foot-long dick will be real. Number 2. Americathon. What? Like Americathon? Oh, I get it, like how they did those telephone things back in the past. Americathon paints a grisly future where crisis has bankrupted America, the Soviet Union has fallen, and China has turned to capitalism. You know, kinda like what's going on right now. Yep, they pretty much nailed the current political climate, even to the US legalizing weed for a smoke-off fundraiser. This is one of those lost, ridiculous 70s political satires that should be more well-known even just for its eerie accuracy. Number 1. The Star Trek franchise. And here we come to the final frontier of movie predictions, with the source of most of our visions of the future from the movies to the miniseries. The ultimate chicken and the egg situation, with tablets, voice-activated computers, universal translators, mobile phones, wireless headsets, and so on. Not to mention the technologies that were directly inspired by the films and series, like hyposprays that are in development. Hell, even 3D printing owes something to Star Trek. But once someone works out how to create the holodeck, we're gonna be in for some wild times. You could say we aspire to have a future as bright as a fictional world, but really we just want all their cool shit. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.